What is going on, guys? We're back, and today we're talking about something a little bit different. As you may know by now, Better Call Saul has officially ended. The finale aired Monday and did an excellent job of wrapping up the Gilverse with, spoiler alert, the trial, incarceration, and redemption of everyone's favorite criminal lawyer, Saul Goodman. Now, we're probably going to talk more about this episode in the series in the future, but right now, we got a different topic in mind. If you're like me, you might be thinking, what do I watch now? Well, we're here to answer that question with a few recs of our own. This is part one of two, or maybe even more. We got a whole list coming up, but I wanted to start us off with three that I found to be the most similar. We start off with one of my personal favorites, which is Suits. Now, I'm starting this list off with Suits because, much like Better Call Saul, this show involves a criminal lawyer who also happens to be a criminal lawyer. The show revolves around Mike Ross, who gets hired by Ace Attorney Harvey Specter, despite knowing that Mike has not gone to law school. However, the show isn't perfect. It had its ups and downs within the 10 seasons that it aired, and in my opinion, the show had a perfect ending in season 8, and I chose to ignore the rest of it. However, I personally think that Better Call Saul fans will really enjoy it if you were a fan of the creative ways where Jimmy won cases, much like the scene from season 5, episode 4, in which he switched the defendants. You really will enjoy the creative ways that they employed in the show to get the clients out of binds. Now, I'm going to warn you, this show has little to do with the streets. It's based in New York City, and the firm is like one of the biggest in the world. So, pretty much all the crimes are very white collar. If you're looking exclusively for that gritty type of show with cartels, guns, and crime bosses, you might not love this. However, there is a bit of drug stuff in this show. Basically, if you're looking for a character and plot driven legal drama to fill the void that Better Call Saul has left in your TV watching schedule, you can check this out on Amazon Prime. And number two, we got Your Honor. For all you Bryan Cranston fans out there, this show is a treat. The show revolves around Bryan Cranston's character, Michael, who's a judge, and his son, Adam. After Adam's involved in a hit and run involving an organized crime family, Michael has to pull all the stops to keep his son out of it. These mob bosses don't play. Much like Walter in Breaking Bad, or at least in the beginning of Breaking Bad, Michael, the judge, does all the wrong things for what seems to be the right reasons, even though those reasons are extremely selfish. Essentially, he's willing to do anything in the show to keep his kid, Adam, out of jail or out of the hands of these mob bosses. Also, this show has a second season coming this fall, which was coincidentally an ad that aired during Better Call Saul this Monday. So it's the perfect time to take a look at the first season. I like the show a lot, and I'm not just saying that now. I said that back in the day when this show was airing too, because guess who reviewed it back then? You guys can take a look at those if you want, and you'll get to see some completely vintage Spectre content, so enjoy. Your Honor, by the way, is on Showtime. Lastly, for this list at least, we got a show by the name of Ozark. Now, this is one that I admittedly haven't gotten around to, but I've heard a ton from people who commented it as a rec. Supposedly, it's a hit, and it's definitely worthy of a place on this list. I don't want to go on and on about a show that I haven't seen by reading some Wikipedia description and pretending I know what I'm talking about. So let me just leave it at this. I think it might be the next show on my list, so I'll keep everybody updated with what I think. Again, we've got a much longer list on the way, but that requires a bit of prep, and I wanted y'all to have something to try by the time. So take a look at these pilots. If you have suggestions, you know where to put them. Stay tuned for the next one.